So we talked about girls like this, right? Chatterbus. We're in the era of the Hannah Baker bitches, right? Chatterbus. But what you have in the streets, right? In poorer communities or just in cities in general, you have you'll have so like in the suburbs you have or in mainstream society, right? It's mostly girls will be like it's chatterbus, right? Or it's yeah, you're like it's chatterbus or rich playboy or bust or sometimes drug dealer street ninjas or bust. So for her, it's hood street ninjas, meaning super soldier street ninjas or bust for her. And there's a lot of women I know just like this. So we're dealing with the street side of this where it'd be like they can only deal with hood ninjas. That's it. That's all they want. Hood ninjas, that's it. No regular dudes. Or for them, a regular dude is somebody that's in the military, police, or a firefighter. If those are the only people outside of the street ninjas that they would actually consider, which is which a lot of the times if you take a cop or a firefighter or military, that can be almost equally as bad as having a street ninja. That can most times that could be just as bad. In my opinion, most times that could be just as bad. Anyways, so we already told you how women like that operate, and usually dark skinned ninjas are particularly attracted to this type of woman. But here we're gonna have a woman here. She's going to spurg out in the comment section because men told her that she chose wrong, right? And or they tell women that are single moms that are in the position that they're in that it's your fault, which is right. It is their fault that they're in the position that they're in. But she's going to spurg out, and this is the message that she has to the people or to the man that said that she chose wrong. That is her fault. Let's hear her response.
Well, you chose the wrong guy. So I chose the wrong guy because I chose a strong and good looking guy because I choose strong and good looking men. Why would I want a man that looks weak? So that's just nature. All women want strong men. But in reality, I really want in a world where I do want a man, I want a man who's smart and can kill a man with his bare hands. And a lot of times I look at men that look like they could kill a man with their bare hands, and maybe they can, but they're not smart. So I realize that it's hard to find a man who's smart and can kill a man with his bare hands, but also compassionate. It has to be all those three. It's just too hard. So I've given up on men as a whole. No, I'm not a lesbian, but I don't want you motherfuckers, okay? I don't. I've given up on you.
Okay, so now.
Well, you
So you see at the end, she said, "I've given up on you," but really, she's so physically, she's only looking for the 1% men, basically off GP. So she didn't really give men a chance, anyways. But like I said, I've tried to tell men that they're not. Most women they don't like most men. Like they don't want to be around most men. To be quite honest with you, and the only time if she's dealing out of somebody that's out, if she's even talking to somebody that's not in her prototype, she's just on pure usury mode, because most women don't like most men. If you give them the option, right? If you had like say a row of 50 women, row of 50 men, and you told them, okay, you guys, we will allow you guys to pair up. It's gonna be a whole bunch of dudes left hanging, and it's gonna be a whole lot of dudes. Sorry, it's gonna be a whole lot of women sharing particular men, and they'll be like, "Fuck it, I'll share with this guy." And dude, you see it at. Why do you think like they'll do this thing where they'll force, like even in school, they'll force people to be. They'll force when they do force female male partnerships, right? And they have to assign it because they know if they just leave it up to choice, it's gonna be like one man to like three females, one man to four females, and it's just gonna be a whole bunch of dudes just left out in the wind. That's how or when it comes to like picking dance partners, it's literally gonna be one man having five women or 10 women even. So that's just how it works. This is why when it comes to women talking about they a single mom, or when it comes to just them choosing, they always choose wrong because they're just going off pure looks. They're not really looking for anything else. But particularly when you're talking about street chicks like her, straight chick rejects like her that are disqualified from choosing not even a Chad, but they can't even choose a Brad if they wanted to. So you got these street chicks. So a girl like that's used to messing with ninjas, she'll be like, no, I can only mess with ninjas, and meaning ninjas meaning street ninjas. right? So it literally cuts off a whole block of men in the city. This is why in the, when you're talking about, or particularly in the black community, where it's literally only a certain percentage of men that are fathering most of the kids. It's only a certain percentage of men. Most men most men in the black community, and people are starting to realize this. Most men in the black community are single and childless. Then you have a certain percentage, only another small percentage that's married, which leaves you like 15 to 20% of men who are fathering damn near 70% of the kids in the hood. It's crazy. Sorry, 80 something percent, because it's like 83% of women in the black community have kids out of wedlock. So when you do the math, you're just like, oh my God, we've been pointing the finger at the wrong people. It's not the men, because how are you going to blame the men that are not even in the sexual market like that? I'm like, meaning they don't even qualify for the job. But like, that's basically like you have a job, right? And you weren't even hired, you weren't even considered for the job. The job fails, and the people that they blame for the job failing are the people that weren't even hired for the job. This is where now people are finally using their brains when it comes to this, instead of just, oh, he's just a deadbeat dad. No. Moms just pick deadbeat men. So here, she's basically admitting that I only pick off attractiveness, and because it didn't work out for me, I give up on all men. So there you have it, really. But just for entertainment, let's dissect what she's saying again.
You chose the wrong guy. So I chose the wrong
By the
guy
way,
because
she's talking way too loud. And I can tell why the dude that's why dude was frustrated with you, like, homie, the decibels. When you talking to a man like that, that's first of all, when most women are talking, it's already too much for me. It's already too much for me. Even when women are speaking positively, sometimes I'm like, it's too much. It's just too much.
I chose a strong and good-looking guy, because I choose strong and good-looking men. Why would I want a man that looks weak?
So she's saying that's just nature, but now apparently men are the shallow ones for saying we don't want fat bitches, but you basically admitted you just basically picked pure off of genetics, purely off of genetics. You mentioned nothing about in terms of, and the things that she goes on to list, she literally lists nothing that would actually help in terms of picking a father for your kids. She picked nothing. She said everything about aesthetics and what she feels a father should look like, or what what her man should be, but nothing about what a father, the skills that a father should have. This is why men historically have picked their daughters' mates. This is why their brothers historically have picked their daughters' mates, because clearly she has no idea what she's doing. First of all, she already knows she has no idea how to even keep a man, let alone understand a man. She has no idea what she's doing out here. She's lost.
That's just nature. All women want strong men. But in reality, I really in a world where I do want a man, I want a man who's smart and can kill a man with his bare hands.
So why do you need a man that can kill a man with his bare hands? Like, why? But like I said, these be like I said, this is why pro-black men, there's a lot of pro-black men that end up like just disassociating with the community, in general. Because what will happen is they'll be like, I only could date street ninjas. I'll rather deal with a criminal and blah blah blah. And then they'll be like, man, why my city? Then they'll make a post literally the next hour talking about, man, my city is dying. Everybody's dying in my city. What's going on? I'm like, who do you think are doing the killing? The farmers, the mechanics, they're doing the killing. The janitors, no, it's the street ninjas that y'all dealing with. They're the ones doing the nonsense. But like I said, you do you. You do your picking. You want somebody that's smart but also can kill a man with his bare hands. Well, if you're a smart man, you will put yourself in positions where you don't have to do that.
And a lot of times, I look at men that look like they could kill a man with their bare hands, and maybe.
Now, I don't know who the guy is on the right or left of her, but this is where men lose me, where they'll just allow women to talk nonsense without telling them what you said was nonsense. You need to really just stop it in the middle, But unfortunately, I've experienced this. You'll tell the woman that she's not stupid, but like, nah, that's not true, and they will look at you like you, like the looks that they'll give you, like, I'm used to getting dirty looks just in general, for, like in life. But like the looks that they'll give me, I'll be like, damn, I know the average man cannot. They can't handle that. They can't handle that. You like, I'll see like you'll suggest something. You'll suggest something. Say if, like the woman is the leader of a group, of a music group or whatever. You'll suggest something and then she will not have it, dog. It just has to be her way. It has to be, you have to agree with how she's feeling at the time, even no matter how nonsensical it is.
Maybe they can, but they're not smart. So I realized that it's hard to find a man who's smart and can kill a man with his bare hands, but also compassionate. It has to be.
So like the man that she's looking for, the man that she's looking for, it does not exist. So this is the problem. So she's just adding the smart and compassionate part because she's realizing in real time that she sounds stupid. Now the thing is, when women usually talk, they don't really put much thought into it, so they don't edit their thought before they speak. They edit it during their rant. So they'll say what they really feel, but then they'll edit it. They'll say it again, but edit it while she's ranting. That's what women usually do. They don't necessarily think before they speak. They speak it and then they think about it while they're speaking it, and then they edit it in real time. So that's what she's doing. And the more she's editing it, the more she sounds stupid. But what she really wants to say is, I don't want a man that just does not meet my physical type. I'm not going to give you those guys a chance. And if most men knew that, I would say most women feel that way, particularly when you talk about American women, because they have their jobs, whatever. So they don't necessarily need, like, women in America don't necessarily need a man when it comes to partnership or, mateship and whatever. They don't necessarily need that because the government is their daddy, right? They have the government to lean on. They have male Sims to lean on. So they don't necessarily need a man in their eyes. They just want a man. And who are the men that they want? Most men don't qualify, under that prototype for the men that they want. Women want men. They don't need men today. Now they're going to need men. Women do need men, but like I said, women feel like they don't need men. And what they feel is what they believe should be reality. So right now, they feel like they don't need men. They only want men. They want men. And what are the men that they want? Most men don't qualify for it in her eyes.
To be all those three, it's just too hard. So I've given up on men as a whole.
It's like I said, it's always that same line. I've given up on men and blah, blah, blah. But she's gonna, when she needs help from a man, she's gonna act like she ain't never said none of this. There have been so many stories, I'm talking about, from men, where they'll be leaving their divorce court after the wife literally raked them through the coals, and then they'll be leaving the court, and the ex-wife will still ask that man. I'm talking about just coming straight off of going to war with that man, and he doesn't even want to look at her. And the stories that I've heard from MGTOW men talking about how their wife would still asking for money, or it'd be like 1 hour still asking for favors. I'm like, do you have no shame? That's that's the lives of 304s. You know what I mean? And like I said, they always talk about smart, but she's lying. She just wants a physical type man, her physical type, because at the end of the day, they're gonna go for the physical type first in terms of when it comes to procreation. That's what they're gonna do. If the only way to skip that process is if you have money or status. That's the only way she will overlook her physical type for the average man, is if he has money or if he has some type of status where she can gain from just being associated or being around him, right? So that's the only way you can circumvent that process. So most women, they're just looking for their physical type. And if you don't meet that physical type, the only way, basically, when women feel like they have options, they're not going to overlook their physical type dudes first. That's how it works. Somebody in the comments says she wants a superhero. So like, yeah, because when people are just like, wait, so she talking about you want a man that can kill somebody but be smart, or be a strong, good-looking man first? But so when she said strong, good-looking man, that's what she wants. The other stuff that she said was really fluff, and really, but the reason why women will do stuff like that, or if you ask the average woman, oh, what do I want somebody that's smart and compassionate, they're just saying that because if most men understood like how I do, that most women are not really Most women don't like most men like that. If men knew that, most men would not even try to associate with women because men be getting hurt when they find out that they weren't the first choice or they had she like that you were the backup dude. Like men be getting hurt by that. But I think men need to understand that women don't really like most men like that. And really, my theory is when men like to talk about how back in the day women were so called better, I don't look at it like that. Now that I think about it, really, they just had to tolerate us to survive. So they had no choice but to tolerate men. But now that they have the option, look how much they're giving the middle finger to the average man. Look how much they're just giving the middle finger to like most men that they can't they can give the middle finger to. Look how much men that they'll just like F you to, right? And how like where they'll talk about where men need to be eliminated. Like now that they have the freedom to choose, they're just like, well, you guys did all the dirty work. Well, screw you guys. So I think it's always been like that, but because they were not strong enough to be by themselves, they were not strong enough to be to put in the dirty work to hunt and kill and do all that stuff. They just tolerated men and just played their part. And because there was like no government assistance and all that stuff, they had to obey, right? So people like to always say, "Oh man, I can't wait till women crawl back on their knees and apologize to men." Well, that's not how it's going to happen. First of all, once the bullets start flying, men are going to get hit first because women, they're not going to kill women. They're only going to take female prisoners, mind you. Now, once that stuff starts happening, it's not going to be women crawling back apologizing. They're just going to go back to what they used to do: cooking and cleaning, being barefoot and being pregnant. They're not going to women don't apologize. They are who they are. They are who they are, and they're just going to act like none of this stuff happened with the stuff that they were saying on TikTok, the stuff that they were saying in real life, all that stuff talking about how black men need to be eliminated once they're fetuses. They're going to act like none of that happened. They're just going to go back to what they used to do. Once shit hits the fan, they're just going to assume position. Assume the position. That's all they're going to do.